Ah, is that working? Good afternoon, darlings. Here I am. This is a video for YouTube. It will begin on Patreon, and then this is for everybody. So I am coming back, and I'm coming back because we've got this first quarter moon on 9/11 coming up. Today we are 9/9. Always very important. 9/9 is just a play on 6/6, 6/9, 9/6, which is your basic yin yang, masculine, feminine, white, black, the basis of the anima and the animus, and the male and the female, and the sun and the moon. So today is 9/9. We had big news in France for the 6/9. The new Prime Minister, Michel Barnier. So we've got the barn, we've got the old MacDonald, we've got Michel. So we've had Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel, the young man, just in his early 30s. We've got old Mac in the middle, and we've got now this old man, and he's 73 years old, and he's called Michel Barnier. So we've got MB again, MB, which is like Bob Marley, Black Magic, Black Madonna. B is 2, the number 2, but it's also a 1 and a 3, making 13. And M is the letter 13. So Mary Magdalene, Black Madonna, BM, MM, Mickey Mouse, Marilyn Monroe, Mile by Mile, Man by Man. I always sing that from Liza Minnelli in the Cabaret. So I think that this is just to give the triple goddesses, the 2 crescent phases of the moon and the full moon in the middle. And we've got this copy with the 3 archangels, because this first quarter moon on 9/11, we're going to have another big square on the cross. And that news came out on the 6/9, and today is the 9/9. And that is always, as I say, it's your full moon with the 2/6/6 is the full moon, and the 2 crescent moons on each side, which is your triple lunar goddess energy. So right now in the sky, we have got Jupiter still between the 2 corns in Taurus, making a perfect square. He's on his first quarter journey from the opening of COVID 2020, when we had the Jupiter and the Saturn conjunction, just at the beginning of Capricorn on the 21st of the 12th. So this is important because it's 5 years since Corona. So Corona began 2019, officially in 2020, March 2020, in the year that we had the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. And now we've got the first angle, the first square, and we've got Jupiter in the home of the corps, of the flesh. The corps is the corpse, it's the torso, it's the Taurus field, it's the Torah. Taurus is the sign where the moon is exalted, and Jupiter is in the home of the moon, taking that. He normally rules Pisces, which is also the moon tarot card. It is that lunar energy, and we will come to it. But Uno just did a video yesterday about the Pope had visited Jack. He's gone to Indonesia, and he's gone to Jakarta. So my last video, I'm telling you, it's the rising of Jack. We've got Pierre and Paul. So the Pope has gone from Italy, Europe, Pisces, Pierre, Jupiter, back to Indonesia, Asia, Paul, Pierre and Paul come together as Jupiter and Saturn should come together, merging the mutable cross with the fixed and the mutable to become one star of Bethlehem. Now, interesting, I just opened Google to find this image and it's gone. I put the 3 crosses over and over again, and normally it pops up straight away, that image. There's your yin and the yang, but the 3 crosses have gone in that image. So, as I always explain, this mutable cross is ruled by Michael Jordan, Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson, Jim Morrison, John McEnroe, MJ. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius, and then on the fixed cross we've got the Sun rules Leo, Saturn rules Aquarius, Venus rules Taurus, Mars rules Scorpio, and on the high cardinal we again have Saturn ruling Capricorn and the Moon ruling Cancer with Mars and Venus. So Jupiter should merge with Saturn to bring those 3 crosses together, to bring the one together. And we've got Islam, Christianity and Judaism being merged together in this, in this way. They copy, but it's cheating, but it's, everything happens on this material realm to imitate an alchemical process that you either see through the deception or you are just going round and round the hamster wheel. You're just running round and round and you don't stop, and you're not able to see, you're not able to notice the 12 seasons, you're not able to incorporate, you're not able to become that 13th central pivot of the axis. So back here, we'll go and have a look at the chart in a minute. So Mars has just left. He was for a long period in full in Taurus. So let's see how long he was for. August. He entered in July. So he entered for the new moon that we had in Gemini. We had a new moon in Gemini. There's the moon is just moving away. The moon is there, but it was on the 6th. So we had a new moon in Gemini. Then we had a new moon in Cancer. And we have just had on the 3rd of September a new moon in Leo. So we go from Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, new moon, to Moon, domicile, new moon, and now we've just had in the home of the Sun a new moon on the 3rd, and we're going to have on the 11th this first quarter as the moon enters into Scorpio on 9/11. So I was looking, what have I got here? So this is 9/11. 11th of September 2001. So today we're 2024. So last year was 22 years, and this year is it 23 years since 2001? My goodness, it's 22 years. So we're at catch 22. We're at 22 is V, and it's also B, and B can also be turned into the 13. So B is 2, BB is 2, 2, 22 is V for victory, and this is all part of this new French Prime Minister being called Michel Barney, Barned. So this is 9/11, and we have got, so the moon was right on the wand of Merlin. Here it looks like it's just in Gemini, but if I put 9/11 here, I'm going to have to put New York, if I put it on here. New York. These are all different. New York. East New York, Northern. Okay, well, 40 and 73, I know is that, so that will do. So let's put 2020, 2001, Odyssey 2001, let's put 11, let's put 846. Right, stop the clock. So Mercury was exalted and at home in Virgo. The sun was still just in Leo, and the sun was right between Virgo and Leo, exactly like the 1968 children are born with Pluto right here in between Leo and the Virgo. So that accentuates the Pluto energy, as Pluto is now in Capricorn. Venus was right on that claw, just moved into Leo, but she's still on that claw that I've been talking about in past videos. We've had for the Olympics, and we had for the shooting of Trump, we had Mercury and then Venus on that claw, and for the stabbing of the 3 little white girls in England. So there's the moon right on the wand of Merlin, that lunar energy, Jupiter right on the keeper of the 4 corners, Sirius, and Saturn on Aldebaran. So we've got just after a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. So that is you know, that I think the last time that a pope went to Indonesia was apparently 35 years. Jupiter, Saturn come together every 25 years. But we've got Jupiter on the mutable cross. So he's in full in Gemini because he rules Sagittarius opposite, but he's still on his cross. Jupiter rules that mutable cross, and Gemini is part of that. Saturn, he doesn't rule directly Taurus, Venus does, but Saturn rules Capricorn, and Capricorn is part of these earthy, so Saturn is very connected to Taurus for that. But this is lunar. We've got, so the moon is officially in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. Diana, the moon goddess, with Saturn. So this is Islam. This is Islam energy. And Jupiter in Gemini is Vedic. It's, you know, it's the orange, it's the Buddha. So we've got Buddha, Tibetan, we've got this Asian energy, and we've got the moon on Merlin, and that is where this where the Pope went. He went there. So Indonesia, Singapore. So we have the Merlion in Singapore. Merlion, Singapore. There he is. So there's the Merlion imitating Capricorn, imitating the fish goat with the 3 needles. So, which we see on the Isle of Wight, which is lunar. So we've got the sun. The sun rules Leo, and the moon is exalted in Pisces. The moon rules Cancer, but the tarot card is Pisces. It's a lunar energy. So in a way, it's the sun and the moon, lunar moon, but we see in this chart for that 9/11, this is, you know, Saturn and Jupiter with the moon right in the middle, and this Taurus energy. Venus, the ruler, was just in Leo ruled by the sun. The sun is in domicile, Mercury is exalted, and Mercury rules Gemini. So we do have in France, I'm going to show you, we've got a famous woman called Salome who is having more and more, she's a journalist, she's just 28 years old, and she has written a book, Fighting for the Youth. As I always tell you, it's about the youth, it's about Mercury, Jack and Jill. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. They are Jack and Jill, they're meant to go up the hill to fetch a pail of Aquarius water to meet this Twin Peaks, but they don't make it up to the top. And we've got this period which is all about this 9/11 first quarter moon coming up in 2 days, where you're going to see we've got Venus in Virgo, and we've got the 4 fixed stars, the 4 corners of the crane, just like in the world, the one World Trade Center, the one unicorn. Everything is in preparation now to rise. The Black Madonna, Notre Dame on the 8th of December. So this 9/11, let's go and have a look at it here. So Mercury was in Virgo, and Mercury ruled where Jupiter was in full, and the moon was not quite in Gemini. The moon was right in between on that wand of Merlin, opposite Mars. We've got Mars right, and the key at that time, Chiron. So this is the famous gap. This is the gap between the mutable and the fixed cross. We've got the deer hunter. We've got Asia and America. Gemini, also India. We've got, so, you know, India is this moment of the cow, and Gemini, the orange. So orange is made from the red and yellow, from the red air, Gemini, and the yellow fire, Sagittarius. Mars was officially, where was Mars? Mars was right on the dot in Sagittarius. So here it is, yeah, it says it's in Sagittarius. And the south and the north node. North node in the home of Mercury, Gemini. South node in the home of Jupiter, Sagittarius. So now for this 9/11 coming up, we have, let's put the transitions and then you can see what we've got. So here we've got north node now in the home of Jupiter, Pisces. We've got south node in Virgo. We've got Venus right on top of Mercury. So Venus rules Taurus here, and Mercury rules Gemini here. This is Aphrodite and Hermes. Hermaphrodite. So that hermaphrodite energy is merged. We have Jupiter on top of Saturn. So they're giving us their fake merging together, and that is what they're trying to show you when the Pope goes to Indonesia. So I was looking at the video of Uno just to pick up info quickly, because so that is interesting. He's showing this. So there's a kind of a unicorn. It's 66 meters. Yesterday was the 8th of September, the Virgin's birthday, and that was the 8th of September, the day that the Queen died at 96 years old. So it's always to reach that vibration of Saturn in Capricorn 96, or Cancer, Kali, the moon rules Cancer, and that is 69. So that 8th of September is for the birthday of the Mother of God, but the Mother of God is not Virgo, the Virgin. And you know, this, we've still got the sun in Leo on the 8th of September. That is Whore of Babylon. That is the sun is in Leo. It's not in Virgo yet. and we've currently got Venus in Virgo, the Sun in Leo, and Mercury has just finished his retrograde shadow. So he's done his retrograde, which was for 777 days, and then that last 7 leg, he's come back over and he's back on the feet of Jesus. So for Venus was actually just in Leo. We just saw, this is a mistake. Venus was in Leo, just there it says Leo, it's not in Cancer. So it just made exactly where Venus was for the stabbing in England of those 3 white girls, which was, again, I've been over it, it was all on those quarter moons. So Uranus was right in the middle of those twin peaks, and now we've got Pluto and Saturn still in the home of Saturn. At that time we had Uranus and Neptune in the home of Saturn. So interesting, between 9/11 and 2024, so this is 22 years later, this is catch 22. Venus, we've got all 4 outer planets, although Saturn just makes the last visible. And we have this beautiful, you'll see when I open let's go and open the chart for today, first quarter moon. So coming up, you see we've now got Uranus, Pluto and Neptune making this lovely trine and double sextile, working on this side of the chart, whilst we've got all the inner planets over on this side. So yeah, well, that's just Uranus. So Uranus was between Capricorn and Aquarius for 9/11, and now Uranus is right on Algol. So this is what I want to show you. So here we're going to have the moon in Scorpio. The moon is currently just entering Scorpio, and in 2 days the moon will still be right here, and the moon will be opposite Jupiter. The moon is in full in Scorpio, and for 9/11 we had the moon right here opposite on the wand of Merlin. So we've now got the moon opposite in this Islam energy. We've got the 4 religions going on here. We've got the 4 evangelists. We've got the 4 royal stars. We've got Leo. So we've got Matthew, Mark, and we've got John, Scorpio, and Luke, Taurus, and Luke is being risen. So that's the story of Salome. She decapitates St. John, and you can see here we've got this grand square going on. So Jupiter square to the Sun, and square to Neptune, and square to Saturn. Square to Saturn. Mars is also making a square to Neptune, and we've got the moon, which is making a square to Saturn, and the moon is making a square to the Sun. So we've really got Jupiter coming in on the fixed cross. Jupiter's thinking himself all high and mighty, when Jupiter normally has nothing to do. Where's that picture that I had to bring up? It's not it. Up. So you see Jupiter has no place on these 4 fixed signs here, and he is now sitting proud in this big square, talking to the Sun, ruler of Leo, and to Saturn at home. So the Sun is at home, Saturn's at home. They are opposing each other. I've gone into depth about all this on Patreon. I did a video about September, and what's interesting is if I open September, if I open this, right, so this was very interesting. The cards we had, it's the new moon. We had Ace of Wands, birth and death. And this is now the first quarter moon. And we had Three of Pentacles, response to conflict, High Priestess. So, you know, the tarot cards were absolutely bang on. And then we've got for the full moon eclipse. This is the eclipse coming up. We've got the Princess of Swords, the controlling daughter. So, you know, we've got Angelina Jolie playing in Maria Callas, MC, and I'll be showing you her song to Norma, which is all a song to the moon. So, and then we have the World Tarot card upside down, and that is coming up for the last quarter. So here we have the persona. In the house of the persona, we've got Venus in fall and detriment in Virgo. Venus, the ruler of where Jupiter is. They're talking to each other with this lovely trine, and she is conjunct to Juno, Black Lilith, and to the South Node. So this is whore of Babylon. This is in the time of Babylon, when the ascendant was Leo. So this absolute chart that we see here was the time of Babylon, when Leo was falling onto the horizon, Taurus was on the MC, and Aquarius was on the descendant, and Scorpio was on the IC. But that is not the fixed cross that we're coming on to now. We've now got this Jupiter rules Pisces, Saturn rules Aquarius. They come together on the ascendant, Saturn and Jupiter. But here we've got the Sun and Venus, and there they are, both of them on the ascendant, rising as it was in the age of Babylon, the whore of Babylon. And this is why you're going to understand more easily all these charts, all these posts that I've been doing. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a fever. I think I'm ill. We've had all this rain and flood and change of weather. Lourdes, for the birthday of the Virgin Mary, Lourdes was inundated. I'm going to be showing you these pictures. So let's go so this is Corona. We've got all the farmers, all the agricultors have been pushed into growing coriander. So, I mean, it's great. I have got fields of coriander. It smells of coriander everywhere. Coriander was used in Egypt for the mummy process, for the death process. And we're now at that first quarter after the coronavirus. And we have all these people who are passing away. So many people in my village have got cancer, and so it's very symbolic. They've got this coriander. Coriander is a herb like parsley. CP is Pollux, Pollux and Castor. So that came out on the 8th of September for the Virgin Mary's birthday, and we've got coriander on the front. This is what happened in Lourdes in the Pyrenees, a hole of 50 meters. So 50 meters represents always the 5-pointed star of Venus. It represents the 5 degrees that Venus is hidden. So the Venus cycle, evening star, morning star, 260 days, evening star, 260 days, morning star, and there's always 50 days where she is hidden. So it's always that Hawaii 5-0. There's the hidden period of Venus. So that when they put 5-0, they're talking about Venus, and it's 22 years since 9/11, catch 22, and they're rising this year. Notre Dame, the new dark side of the moon. Okay, so here is the grot of Lourdes. So they've flooded the waters, the birthing of this new Black Madonna BM. This is next to where I live. They've got this La Vierge de Grâce, the 22nd of September, so that 22 again, and Plaisance Patrimoine is PP99. So P9B6, PB, Paddington Bear is always the 9-6, the yin yang. This is a friend who lives in Caen in Normandy, and he lives in next to Luke on the sea. So Luke, this is rising Luke. We've got Luke and John. Luke is Taurus, and you've got what's it called, DD, something DD, right next to there's a town where there's a basilique, a church, and there was lightning that came onto the steeple and brought a part of the church down. So they're talking about stuff that happened on the 8th of September last year, 1 year ago in Morocco, the 5-pointed star that we had the big earthquake, magnitude 7 and 2960 dead, which is like that cycle of Venus, morning, evening star. And Venus, Morocco, is the 5-pointed star, as my village is. So 2 years ago, the Queen died, making that all between, it's the 2, the B is the second letter. So, submergé par les crues. Des crues, so there she is, Lourdes, the Grotte de Lourdes. So G, Grotte de Lourdes, the horse that just won Burghley with Ros Cantor. So they've now won badminton and Burghley, Lord Gruffalo. So the Grotte de Lourdes is GL, Liberty and Glory. I showed you badminton 2 years ago when there was a horse called Liberty and Glory, and the rider fell, and it was all a stunt, and Lord Gruffalo went on to win badminton with Ros Cantor. So Ros Cantor, Russia, Canada, the Michelangelo fingers, and we've now got Michael, the new Prime Minister in France. So yeah. Oh, so yeah, GL. So GL, GG is 7-7, and L is just the 7, so it's just always the 7-7, and 77 is the year of the cycle of Chiron, and it's the year that Macron was born, and it's the dub L at the back, the 2 corners at the back of your crane, you'll set. So this is, it's just making that gap always, that cranial gap. So that was just a nice picture showing this very nice astrology image. We've got the solar, we've got the Hawaii 5-0 man in the middle, and we've now got Salome, because Jupiter has only got Mercury. So in order to not let us come to the true Jesus Christ in the middle, that's Pisces. Pisces should come in the middle of the 4 humours. He puts Salome. humors there. So Christ between the four fixed, the humors hot, dry, cold and moist. And then we've got Salome between the four. We've got the One World Trade Center. This is what I'm talking about. This is what this 9/11 is all about. We've got the Whore of Babylon between the four corners of the fixed cross. Carry on. So that caught my eye this morning in the newspaper. 55 wine bottles. This is Amy Winehouse. This is the grapes, Virgo, opposite spirit, alcohol, Pisces. So Jesus, Corona, Victoria, AI, Victor. So, it should be, it's the feminine axis. Pisces is feminine. So from Mary, we've got Mary Magdalene and Jesus, Corona and Victor. So what's this? L'affaire avait fait grand bruit en 2022, 4155. So 55, Sun and the Moon, Hawaii 50. And that also caught my eye on the front. So they're coming after those all of us who don't have a linky. So I have been having bills of 800 euros, 600 euros, 600 euros. I got another bill for 633 euros for electricity when I don't use any electricity in the winter at all. I had to fight for days and days and days, and eventually they sent me a bill for 130. But this is what they're doing to all of us who don't have smart meters, and it's on the front page. They're coming after us. They want everybody connected to the AI, to the linky, to the link. Okay. So I was just listening to my son's music. I just had him here for 4 days, which was fantastic. He's doing he's doing a play on a book about Lisbon, the Fada, and we've got something big going on with the Treaty of Lisbon, something to do with this new Prime Minister. He was part of that. He was also the man who did all the negotiations on Brexit, this Michel guy. Anyway, the music that my son did, Salome, is very good. So talking about the 9/11 first quarter moon in Scorpio, full four corners, fixed cross, the World Tarot card, World Trade Center, Corona Virgo sits in the middle of the four corners of your crane. Corona, she is Virgo, the corp. The corp is the corpse, which is the body, the flesh. Corona Virgo, Victoria, AI, Pisces, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, and Venus in Virgo. Conjunct South Node on SPICA, blue star. So yeah, for this 9/11, let's come back to now. So we're going to have, Venus is not quite on SPICA. Venus will be on SPICA for the eclipse. So that is enormous, and the sun will have moved into Virgo by then. So on the 17th and then on the 18th we have this eclipse. So it's all preparation. This is a very big month for rising Corona. So Corona, we have the Twin Towers, and we've got the Statue of Liberty right in the middle of those two pillars, just like the High Priestess. Sun and the Moon's path, there's your 5/5, and here's your 5/0, the hand of Fatima, the 5 degrees, which are always between the Sun and the Moon's path, which is very much like Venus's hidden 50 degrees. So there is a Statue of Liberty between the two pillars, and now the towers, two towers have fallen to make one, merging of Mercury and Venus, merging of Gemini and Virgo, the Black Madonna with her child. It's Pollux and Castor, Coriander and Parsley, the lunar node. So these two aspects are not planets, but the points where the moon's orbit pierced through the plane of the ecliptic when you were born. They describe your soul path. So I go into detail on this. I use my own chart as an example on Patreon, and I explain that I have North Node in Pisces and I have South Node in Virgo, and I explain that that was marking. So it wasn't, I got married at 17, it was the birth of my son. So the birth of my son was when I was 18, and then my divorce for the next 18 years after my son's birth, and now I'm at the next 18 years, North Node back in Pisces. So the North Node in Pisces represents your future and the ability to fulfill your potential. It describes parts of yourself that you lack or areas. So that's just showing you the lunar South Node. Pollux and Castor, South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces. So that is that. Víctor and Corona, the VC, which is how Jupiter is controlling either Cupid and Valentine on. So for 9/11, we had the North Node in Cupid, Gemini, we had the South Node in Valentine, and now for this 2024 9/11 first quarter moon, we've got the North Node in Victoria and the South Node in Corona. There is the High Priestess sitting between the pillars, and now those pillars have been merged as one. The four corners, the four religions. This is what this 9/11 is giving us, this world card. And in the old days, it didn't used to be Goldilocks in the middle. It used to be silver knot locks, because Pisces, the moon, is that passage to Aquarius. You have to get past the old hag, the deadly mother. Víctor and Corona, and now the new remix. We've no longer got the twin towers, but we've got the unicorn, we've got the one world trade, which is what Corona is. She is the world card between the four corners. And there's Gabrielle and Archangel Michael, and those are the two prime minister that Macron has taken on. And I keep saying, is she somehow, I think that everything is being planned for this revolution, that she comes back for the Front Populaire. France voted for her and they want their Lucy back, but they want people to fight to bring in Lucy and Mr. Tumnus. So we've got the lunar partial eclipse coming up for the full moon. There is your Liberty, Égalité, and there is your North and South Node. And there is the bird, the gap in the five-pointed star of your crane, and the eyes on the horizon, your Helen of Troy, the Torah. The two sides of that red, blue, north, south, and the four corners. This is what's going on. And we've got Salome, and that's why my son did Oscar Wilde's play in Israel this summer. So the Fox were coming up to the Boom, La Boom, the French film, La Boom with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, Taylor Swift, and Harry and the Queen. So this is Burley, Ros Cantor, and these other two English riders. We've got an H and an M, Ash M, and look at these sponsors, always Mars. So RC, she was riding Lord Gruffalo. Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure how easy. So let's just do the most important. Here's all the coriander. And I put here a few. So a real embezzlement of public money. Why organic coriander cultivation has become the goose that lays the golden eggs. The word coriander is believed to be derived from Greek word choris, which means a bed bug. So that beetle is the beetles of 4 parts of your brain always. It's the dung beetle. It's the Egyptian Isis beetle, thought to refer to the strong scent of the leaves caused by the aldehydic components of the essential oil present, which some people hate and others love. It is certainly named after a bug in several languages, but the earliest attested from of the word is the Mycenaean Greek, written in Linear B symbolic script. Okay, so connecting the two, or at least coriander must have been considered a very holy herb. Coriander is certainly associated with the Phoenician Canaanite warrior goddess Anna, Anatu, titled the Virgin, Mother of Nations, she who kills and resurrects, the consort of Baal, who wore horns and carried a moon disk. She wore coriander perfume and purple makeup for the battle. The greatest of gods were afraid of her. Coriander was much valued as a perfume in the ancient world. Well, I'm just walking, my cats come in and they are stinking coriander. I noticed, by the way, that Keir Starman has got a cat called Phoenix, or he's got some funny name. So it's the first cat at 10 Downing Street. So, you know, this is Top Cat, this is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, this is Islam, this is lunar energy, and this is what we've got. Jupiter wants to work to get the moon. The moon is on the high cardinal cross, works with Saturn. Jupiter's got nothing to do. This is Jupiter's way. Jupiter is sitting in Taurus. Jupiter is in the home where the moon is exalted. And for this 9/11 first quarter moon, we have got Jupiter sitting proudly opposite the moon, and the moon is in full. And now then we're going to have Mars just on Sirius. Mars will be on Sirius. Okay, so core, body, flesh, coriander, found in ancient Egypt tombs and referred since the time of Hippocrates. Coriander has been a symbol of health and vitality for millennia. Its seed once used in love potions in China and mentioned in tales like the Arabian Nights highlight its reputation as an aphrodisiac. Well, I've got a load of free coriander and I have been making tomato soups to die for, soaked in lime and lemon and coriander. And yeah, I'm feeling I'd never get ill. I always get the first signs and then I overcome it. But everyone in my village has got this bronchitis. People are very sick. There's a plant that produces a green herb like parsley. Its name comes from Spain. Okay, what else is interesting here? So France, culinary and essential oils uses. In spite of regular fluctuations in the last 5 years, French import of coriander seeds reached 1.5. So that is Macron waited Area 51 days between Gabrielle leaving to giving France a new prime minister. He waited 1 days, so that 1,000 tons at 2.3 million in 2019. So 5 years ago, which is the same thing as rising this corona. We've got this 5 years of France having coriander. So this is showing France coriander is so here it's talking about it's just a whole load of stuff I've written. Conversion, so this is all about my area 32, biodynamic farmers of the Gers. inorganic margins are close to however, so you can read all that. This is all around where I am. It's all the coriander. So the fields look like this. I've never known anything like it. This was a video that came out there. We have got the Mr. Tumnus multicolored rainbow, and we've got, just like in Lucifer Rising, the film with Marianne Faithfull, which is all in this image of Lucy Castex. The Démocratie résiste, so this is the resistance going on in the streets for the Front Populaire against Michel Barnier, that's his name, Barnier. So here's Ross Cantor, she's wearing 79, the 7th seal, 6th seal, and we got the 9, 7th house Cancer, 9th house Sagittarius. Cancer is the moon, and 9 is Jupiter, and that's what we got, Jupiter opposite the moon. So literally hardly anybody finished this round. It's totally impossible. This horse, Lord Gruffalo, now has won Badminton and Burley BB 22. So there's one of my soups with coriander, lime, tomato, and tomorrow is 9/9 day. That's today. LGG7, everything I've said. This is GiGi 77. So there she is, GiGi. GiGi is 77 and GiGi is also 99. So I was told by a friend on the Isle of Wight that a horse got struck by lightning and the horse was called GiGi. I told you Colette wrote the book GiGi. It's My Fair Lady. It's all a play on Catherine wearing that white and black like in My Fair Lady, the GiGi. So there is Ros Cantor, the CorridO, and this is something I'm going to be showing you in France. A girl called Carol, her father has just been accused of 10 years drugging his wife and having her raped with up to 83 men. And so you've got the daughter Carol, Caroline, the CorridO line, the CorridO Jordan line, speaking up against her father. It's the Virgo girl rising. So there's your P in the mutable cross. At that moment, we've got the North Node in Pisces. We've got Pluto in Capricorn finishing a cycle. And this is where we are at the CorridO. Charles Rex, CR. So there's the soups, there is the apostrophe 69, famous man in France who animated a series called Apostrophe, and he was called Bernard Pivot, BP. You've got the B and the P, and it can also be the 1-1, which is 1111. That's why I always say the 90 degree is just like a 7 or a 1. So it's interesting, they've put here double quotes, dumb, smart, smart, interesting one. Okay. Up. So this is talking about La Marianne rising. Mary in Hebrew, Miriam, is the mother of Jesus Christ. She was recognized by the Council of Ephesus as truly the mother of God, and as such occupies a central place in the Christian faith. Several Catholic feasts celebrate her. January the 1st celebrates Mary, Mother of God. Okay, so January the 1st is Mary, Mother of God, and January the 1st, the sun is still in Sagittarius. So January the 1st, 1-1, 7-7, 1-1. The sun is still in Sagittarius. Okay, so Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The Annunciation on March the 25th recalls the announcement made to him of the imminent birth of his son and the visitation On May the 31st, his visit to his cousin Elizabeth. Devotion to Mary has grown in importance over the past 150 years, as evidenced by the pilgrimage to Our Lady of Lourdes. Floods came out. The floods happened on the night before the 8th, but it came out always the day it comes out in the newspapers is what is important. So according to the dogma of the Immaculation Conception, celebrated on December the 8th, so that is the rising of Notre Dame, the 8th of December. Mary was conceived in a completely ordinary way by her parents, but her soul was preserved from the moment of conception from the stain of original sin which strikes the descendants of Adam and Eve. Mary would therefore have conceived Jesus as a virgin, which has been professed by the Catholic Church since the 3rd century. So it's all Scorpio, Black Lilith, Libra and Scorpio should be merged as one. And then the sun fell under the horizon. The sun fell down into Libra. Scorpio was then fell from an eagle to a scorpion. Black Lilith was sent away from the Garden of Eden, and the sun was now in Libra, and he went with Virgo, which is what is happening again. They're merging Venus and Mercury. Venus rules Libra. Venus also rules Taurus. So Taurus and Gemini coming together, Venus and Mercury, and Libra and Virgo coming together, as they did. They're copying what happened at the fall after the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and they're repeating it when it should now be this passage between Jupiter, ruler of Pisces, Saturn, ruler of Aquarius. This is Aquarius that is now falling onto the horizon, not Leo, not the whore of Babylon. According to the dogma of the Assumption stated in the Apostolic Constitution, Munificentissimus Deus of Pius, Mary, who died in Ephesus, was immediately taken up to heaven. The Immaculate Mother of God, Mary, ever virgin, once the course of her earthly life was completed, was assumed, body and soul, to heavenly glory, the Assumption, celebrated on August the 15th. So that was the shooting of Trump. Thus confirms Mary's special place in humanity. So here is Salome decapitating Jesus, the true Pisces in the middle. It's here somewhere. 4 humors there, taking the head of John. Okay, so these are my pictures here. Okay, Salome. So this is the girl in France. She always wears red and blue, like the Mary, Virgin Mary. And here we have all about the Seine during the Olympics was Salome instead of Solomon. We've got this energy, Sal, to bring up this dark side, the dark side of Notre Dame, La Marianne. So there she is. And here's this beautiful French girl who is 28 years old, but she is being used to bring up this Salome energy. So, you know, this is just Virgo opposite Pisces, and the mutable cross. Jupiter wants to keep hold, so he's crowning Virgo corona in the middle when it should be Jesus when you find the Christ consciousness. And so there, I've this girl I'd not heard of, but interesting. She's that child singer who has now become a young girl, and she's called Angelina Jordan, the Nile again, and this bohemian Elizabethan rhapsody, the bow, the arc, Jeanne d'Arc, it's the bow. To find the crown. So Angelina Jolie, Michael Jordan, MJ, mutable cross, 23 DNA strands, some other film, Jordan. So remember that tiny girl, and she's now become this girl. She sings amazingly. There she is, the little child virgin between red and blue. And there is Notre Dame showing you the crown on St. Louis, the island of St. Louis, which is the sun god. Louis, Versailles, the sun god. And Notre Dame is risen on that island, when island is Pisces. Pisces is the third eye. Virgo is the flesh. So that was a nice painting. September the 8th, the day the Queen died at 96, and this girl, every single picture of her, you will always see her wearing red and blue, which marks she is between that gap. She is the corona, and she is very much in this Salome energy, the vache qui rit, in between the V, the separated fingers. In Pisces normally, so it's not the cow, we've got Jupiter, and Jupiter is now in that cow, the corona, vache, vax. So V for vendetta, V for victory. We've got that film, which is just Jupiter, and he dies at the end, and she lives, and he's putting her in the place. She has to go through that death and rebirth. That's why we see Amy Winehouse, who in 2019 at Villa Cotteret, VC, where I used to live in the forest in the north, she was eaten by 93 dogs. That's why it worries me about Barbara O'Neill. She's 93 years old. 9 and 3 is 12. So we got this Lolita, the Virgo, between the pillars, and there we've got Paris and Helen of Troy with his little hat on, and the Lyra, the red and blue always. So the torso field, and now we've got this new Amélie Poulain, Appy, Amélie Poulain, the foal. Before it was the Dauphin. Mercury is the Dauphin in Pisces, but when you've got Virgo, Mercury, it's a foal. It's merging with Sagittarius, the foal, Mercury, and on the masculine cross is working with Sagittarius. So let's just look at the pictures like this, because it just keeps shutting. So what else have I got here? Just La Marianne, Madonna and her child, Dirty Diana. So the Deliverance de Douvres, that's where my friend lives, and the Basilique got hit. DD, Dirty Diana, and he lives obviously in next to where D-Day was, where we've got the unicorn, the two pillars, the crane in the middle. This is the Salome, the girl. It's just the four corners of the brain. There's your PB Paddington Bear in red and blue, just like Betty Blue, BB. It's really 22 years. No, 2001. 2023 was 22 years. We're at the DNA strands since 9/11. 2001 to 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3. That's 10 plus 3. That's 23. We're at 23 DNA strands since 9/11. So Princess Diana in blue, and we had Charles in red in his portrait that came up. The hand of Fatima, Venus. It's those 50 when she's blinded, she's invisible. You've got between the dub LL. So this new Prime Minister is 73 years old, which is the gap between 37 and 73 is the Vesica Pisces mathematical passage. There's Amy Winehouse, who rose as Eliza Pilasky, who was killed by 93 dogs pregnant in the forest of Villa-Cotteret in 2019. There's your BB, the torso field of the Eiffel Tower, Gaga and Amy Winehouse, the Elizabeth line, Stormy Daniels, Taxi Driver, Jodie Foster, Sinead O'Connor, the Polanski's film Testa d'Urberville, which is where Venus is going to be for this full moon. Venus will be on SPICA on the harvest of VirgO Tess. There is the cherry, and in Trafalgar Square, the Queen died in September 2022. The Queen, she's got red and blue, Venus and Mercury, unity, indivisibilité de la République, liberty. So they're kind of heading towards a sixth republic. We're at the fifth republic, but they want a sixth republic, these young people. There's the north-south. We've got the Mona Lisa, the two sides. We've got Madonna on Vanity Fair. And again, the pillars, Our Lady of Fatima, Leon, Lourdes, the daughter of Madonna, the triple goddesses, the Virgin, the Mother, and the old crone, Lucifer rising, that multicolored, Lucy Castet, Marianne Faithfull, and four weddings and a funeral with the girl in the middle. Okay. So these were the floods you've had in England as well. This is all by D-Day in Caen. Jupiter is Caen. Jupiter is Caen, Caen, and he is in Taurus, the bull god of fertility. So this is this poor little horse called GiGi that was struck by lightning in the Isle of Wight. And this is Maria Callas. So we've got everywhere coming up this Angelina Jolie, who's associated with the Maleficent, in the Sleeping Beauty, the Wicked Witch. So in Marie Callas, she sings in the opera Norma, pure goddess whose silver covers these sacred ancient plants. We turn to your lovely face, unclouded and without veil. Temper, O goddess, the hardening of you ardent spirits. Temper your bold zeal, scatter peace across the earth, thou make rain in the sky. Sung in the first act of Vincenzo Bellini's famous opera Norma, the high priestess Norma is visited by a group of angry druids. They beseech her to declare war on Rome after the Roman soldiers occupied the druids' land and became oppressing their citizens. Norma assuages their fury and convinces them that now is not the time to fight. If they are patient, the Romans will fall by their own doing. An intervention is not necessary. Norma sings a prayer to the moon goddess, asking her for peace. What is not known by the other druids is that Norma has fallen in love with a Roman. She secretly hopes no war will be fought so that her lover will be safe. Norm meaning Northman. Norma is a girl's name of Latin origin thought to have been created for the titular character of the 1831 play by Felice Romani, translating to norm or rule. This classic moniker is anything but, okay, along with the Latin, Norma has a history in Germanic culture. So what else have we got? A standard position for viewing a part as the skull, an aspect of a bodily part as the cranium. It's also an astronomy, a southern constellation that is visible between the constellations of Ara and Lupus, and that is represented by the figure of a drafting square. Tussler world found a binary star in the constellation Norma flickering at Tussler world 5th of May 1996. So we've got Monte Cristo, Alexandre Dumas, who wrote the D'Artagnan, and we've also got Maria Callas. So we've got this MC, Monte Cristo, Jupiter, Sagittarius, the hero, with his MC, VirgO, just like in V for Vendetta. You've got the J, Angelina Jolie, Angelina Jordan, J, AJ, J, JA, J. J is 10 and A is 1. That makes 1, 1. That's the fake Jack Joker. 11 is Aquarius. It's not JA, J. So Brad Pitt is BP, Paddy Bear, BP. He was also, we had BP 69 and Angelina Jolie representing at the Venice Film Festival. Okay, so again, so this is this woman, so Le Père de Carreau, the father of the Cairo line, Api the bull god, the daughter and the father. So Baal, just like at the beginning of this video when I read you that clip, they explain that this relationship between the Virgin and the bull god Baal. This is the father of Carol in France, Caroline, and I showed you in videos, last 2 videos, the famous MC Solar, who has his song Caroline, which is a, you know, I showed you Caroline MC Solar. I just have to make sure. So there, this famous song by MC Solar, I showed it to you the last couple of videos, or the last video I did. So that is what we had. So Flash Flood 66. It's all about Rising Black Betty, BB 22V5 Fertility Floods, the night of 6/9. The first major feast of the cycle of saints is that of the Nativity of the Virgin Mary. So the news came out on the 8th. It was celebrated very early in Constantinople. So Constance, Taurus, Tin is Can, it's Jupiter in Taurus, and Jerusalem. Okay, what else? Okay, I have to show you this. So this is the 51 days it took on the 6/9 for Emmanuel X to bring in the 3 angels, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. But there's also this Uriel, Emmanuel. So you can read this. There's a lot going on here. It's Emmanuel, sign into edit. Emmanuel, angel of the Lord. Emmanuel, Manuel, Mani, angel of the Lord. God is with us. Attack, blue eyes, race, angel power. So area 51, 51 days is 6. 5 and 1 is 6. We're coming to the 6th Republic. I'm pretty sure about this. News announced on the 6/9. So Moon Key cycles, man on the moon, Moon Key, MK Ultra, Monkey 6/9, Yin Yang, Anima, Animus, Flip Flop, Lunar, energy given to man, her fertility, 51 days after Gabriel Attal resigned as France Prime Minister. The name Emmanuel is not traditionally recognized as the name of an archangel in major religious texts or traditions. In Christianity, the term Emmanuel or Immanuel means God with us, and is often associated with the prophecy of the birth of Jesus in the book of Isaiah and the Gospel of Matthew. So Matthew is Aquarius. However, in some historic or apocryphal texts, various names and figures may be attributed to the archangels, and interpretations can vary widely. The most commonly recognized archangels in Judeo-Christian traditions are Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. If you're looking for more specific, at the end of September, the Feast of the Archangels. So it's at this Michael, Gabriel, the word angel or angelos in Greek means messenger. Angels are therefore messengers of gods. Notice that each of their names ends in El, a Hebrew ending referring to God. Michael or Michael in Hebrew means who is like God. L is the 3773. Okay, so let's just look at these pictures. So the moon key, there we've got this young Gabrielle and this old Michael. So we've got here and the birthing of the new Madonna, the triple goddesses, the moon key. So, and remember I've been talking about, we've got the LA 69. So again, that's your Angelina. Well, no, it's not. It's the LA, but still A is 1 and L is like the 1169. It's like 1969. That 1 is always an angle. So this whole road blocking is all ritualistic. Again, it's Cancer, it's Kali, it's 69. And it's going between TC, Top Cat, Toulouse and Castres. Eagle, okay, so all this Men on the Moon, Mary Magdalene, Man on the Moon, the moon landing, Apollo 11 was 1969. It's always the 69. We've got the monkeypox. That's Pisces, the moon, 1969 to 2019 is 50. And that we're now from 2019 to 2024 is 55. And that's why we've got 55 bottles missing. The 55 is 10. 10 is say 10. And you need the other Twin Peaks. We've got a storm coming in. Heavy rain and wind. So the Four Musketeers and that star in the middle, the fifth element is the Jesus, is the head of Jesus, where we've put Salome now in the middle. And we have the triple goddesses with that last angel at the tomb, the last leg, the last angle, the last L, the retrograde of Mercury 777, and then he returns to the womb, the tomb, and that is exactly what's going on right now, because Mercury has just come back to the tomb. He's bang on Regulus. He went retrogrades. He went retrograde. He began from Regulus and there. So from and 9-11. Wow, we're right back. So for 9-9, Mercury is right on Regulus. And that is exactly that. He's completed the last leg, the last angle. And for the rising of Notre Dame, which we just saw, is this date, the 8th of December. The 8th of December, we're going to have Mercury from that fixed star, Leo. So the sun rules Leo, and we're going to have Mercury right in Scorpio on top of Antares, with the sun that rules Leo in Scorpio. And Venus and Pluto combust in Capricorn, and the moon on Saturn. So you see these three guys, and so we'll see what happens, but I'm thinking that there's going to be, it's just a ritual to have those three men making those lunar phases, the Virgin, the Mother, and the Old Crone, as in Gabrielle Macron and this Michel Barnier. So it's all the ascended masters, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are always 7, the last leg of all this new age coming in. So we'll finish on this post. So this I did on the 6-9, and it was on the 6-9 that we had the news 51 days after Gabrielle demissioned. We've got MB, Burning Man going on right now again. So BM, Bob Marley, Black Magic, Black Madonna, M13, B also 13, and B is also 2. So Man on the Moon, Mary Magdalene, Brad Pitt, BP, Lead, B6, 9P, B2, P16, Summer Solstice, 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, and 51 is 6, and this happened on the 6-9, so that gives us 666, 669. It's, it's always a play on the 6 and the 9. Prince William's birthday. Paddy Bear, Bernard Pivot, the axis, yin yang, white black, feminine axis, lunar moon spin, 69, Apollo 11 was a space flight conducted by the United States from July the 16th to July 24, 1969. It marks the first time in history that humans landed on the moon. Right, so the yin and the yang, the eagle has landed. So the eagle is Scorpio, and we're going to have the moon in Scorpio for this 9/11. So something's cooking for sure. So 9/6, the moon was on SPICA, and we're going to have for the full moon Venus on SPICA, which is the eclipse. The lunar eclipse is coming up. Okay, so I'm going to have to open it differently because they won't let me look. So let's do that. Edit all. '69 here we've got the Ser taking the place of Taurus, the Biche, they've got the Stag. I don't know what this girl is, but some singer called 69. 69 is a play on Cancer, and 6 is Virgo, and 9 is Sagittarius. So when Virgo and Sagittarius, Mercury and Jupiter take over, the mother of thou hast no fury than that of a scorned mother. Cancer. So today's 9/9, and 96 is that energy of Capricorn, and 69 is that energy of Cancer. It is the Midnight Express. It's Cinderella becomes, she transcends at midnight, or she dives and becomes the Queen of Hell. So Bay of Plenty makes that eagle where there was the flooding in New Zealand. I think they've got floods going on. Here comes my cat. Come on, Floyd. Floyd, come on, there's a storm. Come on in. Good boy. Up. There's Bernard Pivot folding his arms. The point final, he had the show called Apostrophe. We've got Pooh Bear, PB and Paddington Bear, PB with the milk and honey, the pineal and the pituitary gland. That BP, the symbol is like the 777, the 3 sevens making the sign of Jupiter taking the 3 phases of the moon. So that's why we've got Macron playing those 3 angels. Before I thought of the 3 angels, I was thinking they're taking over that 69 full moon and either 2 quarters or 2 crescents on either side. So BP, the green man, Paddington Bear, it's just the red and the blue and the green in the gap. BNP, the N in the middle of the BP, the red and the blue. Sun and the moon, anima, animus, philosopher's stone, that 5 degrees. Dodi and Diana, DD. 4 times 4 wheel drive, and again that famous 2 sides of the coin, the contrast between French liberty, English liberty, between morality and I've read that misery and happiness, and hell, Virgo and Pisces. 3773, this new Prime Minister is 73 years old, just as Prince Charles 2 years ago was at the death of his mother at 96. So that is your moon key showing us the 5-5 that I did the last video on, and the 666, it's always for this cap cornerstone. Voila. Okay, so we're at the end. I'm just going to show you the chart of the full moon as well coming up. So for the full moon, we are going to have the opposition that we have all for this build-up between Sun and Saturn now moves to obviously full moon. Sun and moon opposite each other, but opposite Neptune, and Mercury will be opposing Saturn. So Mercury and the Sun just at the beginning of Virgo, Sun ruler of Leo, and Mercury the ruler of Virgo. So mutual reception as the Sun moves into Virgo and Mercury is still in Leo. So Sun and Mercury working together, and Venus, Mercury and the Sun opposites the Moon, Saturn and Neptune. So that is some big opposition with that North Node. So it's just a partial lunar eclipse because they're not completely conjunct. And we've got this lovely trine between Uranus and Pluto pointing to Neptune and the Moon right here. And then we've got a grand trine between Uranus, Pluto and the Sun, and Uranus on Algol. So this is either you fall fully into the illusion and the deception, you're able to transcend, you're able to come into this wine, or this is an amplified full moon, and it's an eclipse. So this is you're either able to see through female, this fake female energy, a female in your life. I went into detail all about this in my Patreon, or we are really rising. We're rising this Queen of Swords, Princess of Swords, the controlling daughter. So devil energy, moon in Capricorn energy, sun in fall in Libra, moon in fall in Capricorn. So she's successful, well-liked, shrewd manager who gets what she wants, believing that the end justifies the means. She projects arrogance and toughness, but this is self-protective. For this young woman, everything must be perfectly organized. Her world is one of neat categories, which tends to make her good in business, but sometimes an extremely ruthless and cold-blooded manager of people. So this is, you either don't see through, or, you know, you can use, because there's nothing wrong with sun in Libra nor moon in Capricorn, but if you can't get over that difficulty, then the shadow of Libra, Aries, and, you know, the dark side, the toxic side of Cancer coming through into Capricorn. So Venus right on SPICA and Venus opposite Chiron. Chiron is going to be moving in at the end of 2025 into Aries, and then that is the end of this cycle, the end of this group of people who've been born between 1977 and 2027, we could say 2026. Of all these healers, you know, you have a mission as a healer if you've come in this time, and we start a new cycle, and we're at the end of Generation Z. So Generation Z is these children now of this Salome girl I showed you the pictures of in France. She's 28 years old. This is the Z generation, and they are merging that Jack and Jill energy, and you either fall for the whore of Babylon energy, or you transcend, you find the compassion. Jupiter and Saturn merge as one. So Jupiter, Mars in Gemini. Okay, 1 hour, 31 minutes. I did the best I could. What's this? I've covered everything as well. I like that image that came from somebody I knew. So yeah, on his first full day in office, Donald Trump was 70 years, 7 months and 7 days old. 777. Judgment, West, East. Interesting. And Joe Biden's first full day in office was on the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. Okay. Interesting. So that was on the front page. We've got Harris showing the open hands and Trump showing the fist. $550, 55, and the new hidden hand, the new capstone. In the hand of Fatima. It's just that one other post. My dog snoring. The 13th cranial nerve is the middle between those 4 corners, which is, you can see, this is what this World Tarot card is. It's being able to find this place in the middle of your crown, which is this gap between Gemini and Taurus and Sagittarius and Scorpio. It's the gap in the crown. So we've got Merlin on one side, we've got Ophiuchus on the other side, and in the middle we've got the Virgin. In the middle of the One World Trade Center, we've got the girl with the unicorn and the lion on each side. Okay, darlings, so do come along if you really want to catch up with everything I'm doing. I do a lot of work on Patreon. And we're September, back to work, back to reality, back to earth. So please, readings, I'm here. And I will bring out a newsletter this Wednesday as well. And I look forward to meeting newcomers. And those of you who've already had readings, come and have a transition, whatever you want. I'm going to be doing a Saturn return reading with somebody from Patreon. That will be for the 12th tier, 12th house tier, and the last tier. What else am I doing? I'm going to be doing a full moon chat with Alana. So Saturn returns I'll be doing with Bro. With Alana I'll be doing a full moon chat, which I will try and do live. We're going to try and do another live. So I had a trial, that's why I've got that video on YouTube. That was me having a trial. And hopefully I also want to try and talk to Jacob. I will be soon talking to Lars. I'm not sure if he wants to do a video on Patreon. I'm sure he might want to do that, but first I have to chat to him. And so yeah, for sure a Saturn return, a full moon chat, and then for those in the last group, we have our end of the last quarter moon chats, and that as well I hope we will improve from last time, as last time we had sound issues. So darling, sorry if I'm just a little bit down with the weather. I think all of us, that hit us very hard, from very hot to very cold and wet. It says 20 here, it feels a lot colder. And I love you very much and hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Ciao.